Hey everyone, I'm Chris Childs, and on today's episode of the Love Pleasant View Show, I'm talking with George Leasure, and George serves as an alderman here with the Pleasant View City Council, and we're going to talk about the growth of Pleasant View and how you as a community can get involved. So welcome, George. Thanks for meeting with me today. First off, you're a popular guy here in Pleasant View, but for the few people who may not know you, can you tell us more about yourself, your family, and what your role is here in Pleasant View?
Well, I'm retired from the Navy after 28 years. My daughter had married a sailor, and when he got out of the Navy, he was from Coopertown.
Okay.
So when I retired several years later, I was given no option. We were moving where the grandkids were and found this place in Pleasant View, and been here ever since. So it'll be 19 years later this month, 16th of this month, I think.
Wow, okay.
So love it here.
And so how'd you get involved with the city council?
Well, I've always tried to be involved as far as coming to the meetings. But it's one of the things when I ran for office, it's one of the things, sit back and gripe about what's going on, or step up and have something to do with it or say about it. And I hope that I've done that the last 3 years. So, it's good. Because now if anything's bad with the city, I could take blame instead of blaming somebody else. So.
Gotcha. So you said you've been here for 19 years. Why did you take it upon yourself? Why did you feel like you needed to run for public office?
Well, like I said, you got two options in life. You either sit back and gripe about everything around you, or you step up and try to make a difference. Whether it made a difference or not, I don't know. But I like to think that I was, been sincere and honest and doing what I think is right for Pleasant View. And you don't have a voice sometimes when you don't come to the meetings, or you don't, get elected. Mm-hmm. This way I definitely have a say-so.
That makes sense. So when you're not serving the city, what do you enjoy doing around town?
Well, if anybody that knows me well knows I like sidelines, sweezies, and, eating out. My kids are all grown and gone, and grandkids are all grown and gone, so my wife and I eat out quite a bit, so we enjoy not only going to the local places, but we enjoy the company of friends that we've met there over the years, and just something we do a lot of. So
okay,
like that.
Excellent. Supporting local business is a huge thing. So looking over, all the things that you've been involved with about Pleasant View, it's growing rapidly.
It is.
What upcoming projects and changes are you most excited about?
Well, I think the growth in home building, everything we do from an outside perspective is rooftops.
Uh-huh.
We're a sales tax based government. It's all sales tax. We don't have a property tax. And when companies are looking to come here and settle here in big box stores or big grocery stores, or stuff that big restaurants that people have asked for, they don't really care that it's a nice town. They care about rooftops. And I think as these subdivisions start coming online, that's rooftops, that's exactly what they're looking for, to say, yeah, Pleasant View is a place we want to be.
Excellent. What challenges do you see that might possibly restrict growth here in Pleasant View?
Well, the biggest is there's only X amount of property that can be zoned commercial, that could be commercial. So that's always a challenge, is making the best use of that property. There's a lot of the residential areas now, West Ridge, Town Pride, were all agriculture at one time, and that's gone away, and that's part of what Pleasant View was history-wise.
Okay.
So every time you get another subdivision, it's another piece of usually agriculture that's gone away to make that work. And it's the choice of the owners that they want to sell their property and retire and do whatever they want to do with life, but it does take away from part of what Pleasant View is all about.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So if a new business owner was considering coming to Pleasant View, what would you say that might encourage them to choose our town?
Well, you're demographically, we're exactly what businesses look at, and everybody looks at Pleasant View as the borders, and within that borders we have 4,200 people maybe right now. But Pleasant View really encompasses Coopertown, across the bridge, all the way down to Old Clarksville Pike towards Ashland City, all the way up to almost Clarksville rather. And I think you look at you build it here, people will come here.
Okay.
Because they like coming here. Pleasant View is a nice town. They're not going to feel like, it's just easy to get to. So I just hope they understand that you don't look at the numbers in the city limits, but look at the numbers in the city area, and you'll find that it's a really popular place. And demographically, I mean, mid to upper 30s, our income, is well above the normal here in Cheatham County. We're probably the richest town in Cheatham County, so there's money here to be spent. And there's money that people would rather spend it here than go somewhere else to do it. So come on.
So just overall, it looks like a good fit.
It's a great fit. I think it's just a town that, that's going to be something, and it's going to be on the map. And as they run out of property in the southern counties, and all the way around us are running out of space, this is where people are going to come.
Excellent. So I personally had never attended a city council meeting until last month, and I found it to be really informative to be a part of that. So just for anyone who may not know this, who's allowed to attend city council meetings and workshops?
Everybody. Every meeting due to the sunshine laws is open. We have no meetings that are closed to the public. The only time that we close a meeting to the public if it was a law issue or a legal issue where we were in a litigation, or it had to do with litigation where attorney-client confidentiality was required. But other than that, everybody is invited and encouraged to attend. I'll give you a good example. We had a subdivision that they were looking to put right next to the community park, and this place was stuffed every meeting we had about that because the people didn't want it. Roger that. That was something bad. But if you want something else, get here. I mean, the more voices that, it's hard. I mean, I have social media. I have a web page or a Facebook page for aldermen. Everybody knows my number. Everybody knows me. That will come to me or call me. Hey, I want, how about this? What's that? But it's nothing like sitting up there and then having everybody, looking back at you when you're making a point. And sometimes the points are clear when your constituents are watching you.
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. So you definitely would encourage people to come out.
And I understand how difficult it is. In this day and age, unlike when I was young, kids doing softball or soccer or baseball. A guy works in Nashville, he gets home, or gal gets home, 5:30, 6 o'clock, have dinner, take the kids, run out to a practice somewhere. It's hard to get here.
Yeah.
But if those opportunities present themselves where you have that one day off, come to one meeting just to make sure we know that you're there and you care.
Awesome.
Because it is your voice that we're trying to answer. And if we don't hear that voice, then it becomes our voice that we hope are doing the right thing for the community.
Okay, that's good to know. And so last question for today, George. I actually received a community question from Jeffrey, and he wants to know if this rumor is true. Is Chick-fil-A coming to Pleasant View?
No. Well, I'm not saying
Not
no.
yet.
But what I'll say is this, is unless you can call our building commissioner and there is a site plan has been submitted, I wouldn't believe anything. I've been waiting for McDonald's for 10 years. I was told it was going to come in right there in the corner, like where the Shell station's at. I've been told, everybody's asking about Cracker Barrel. Everybody's asking, when the site plan's in, it's pretty much at that point a done deal, unless it's a site plan for something that doesn't fit the zoning for where they want to put it.
Gotcha. So for now, no Chick-fil-A?
No, unfortunately. I think it'd be great. I think Chick-fil-A would be great. I think Cracker Barrel would be great. I think the fact that Sidelines opened up here as a sort of a full-service restaurant has brought us Sweezy's, and I think Sweezy's will bring us. I just think there's a lot of potential because the first one in, it sort of brings others with it, and people see that there's a market here that people want to get out of their homes and go out for dinner somewhere without driving 30 miles to do it.
Excellent. Well, George, thanks again so much for meeting with me today. I really do appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next time on the Love Pleasant View show.